Okay, so a few days ago now, Sony released their long anticipated handheld or streaming device. Sony released the Project Q. Now, this thing has taken the internet by storm as being probably labeled as one of the most unnecessary console add-ons of all time. And although I'm not in that camp, I'm going to kind of break down my experience with this thing over the last couple days because I've had it for a while and talk about who I think this really benefits, because I think there is a very specific group of people that they were trying to get into this thing. And although I don't really agree with the price point or a lot of what it has to offer, I do understand people who do. It says I bought the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation Portal, so you didn't have to. Yeah, I'm doing the clickbaity YouTuber thumbnail and title now. So this device released on November 15th, which was this past Wednesday, and I got it day it released. I pre-ordered it back in August, and I think that I have a pretty good idea of this device, what it has to offer, who it's going to help, etc. And I think overall, it's a pretty okay accessory. I'm not a Sony fanboy, so don't come at me, don't attack me or anything like that. I think that this is a very mid accessory, and I will tell you why. So I am not a huge fan of stream services, streaming in general. I think it's one of the things that's really damaging physical games and kind of impacting gaming going forward. And this device kind of is built around that idea. This is a streaming device. So first things first, this device and your enjoyment of this thing will really depend on your own internet. I have pretty good internet and I was still having some problems with it. So if you have kind of lower to middle lower internet, I would kind of dodge this thing for a while until you feel like you're at a stable point. Or if you just are going to get it anyway, I'd say prepare yourself for a lot of lag. But before we get into the lagginess of this device and kind of its default problems, let's talk about the good things. For one, this is a Sony device, so it's built really well. I love the way it feels. I love the buttons, the thumbsticks. The thumbsticks are actually a lot smaller than the main kind of thumbsticks on the main PlayStation controller. So for people like myself who have bigger thumbs, it was a little bit uncomfortable, but it actually is better to hold for a long period of time. And I think it's because of the way this portion is made. It's a bigger handheld. It feels nicer to hold for a while. Obviously, you have the adaptive triggers in this thing, which is a really huge thing to have in a handheld. And I think it kind of puts the joysticks of the Switch to shame. I just think that this is overall, design-wise, probably my favorite handheld device ever made. And I love the Switch, so I like this thing a lot more. But you really, for myself and for people like me who have bigger hands, when you're holding the Switch for a long period of time, it can feel crampy and you have to have like either a Satisfy grip or a different kind of Joy-Con that's not a Nintendo branded one to really get that comfortable angle and to get the blood flow in your hands. With this thing, those accessories aren't needed. This is just a staple kind of design for a handheld, and it makes me wish that Sony really went forward with just making a PlayStation Vita 2. That's kind of where this entire device leads me, is wishing that Sony would have just not done a streaming device and would have just done a Vita 2, because this thing does have the build quality of a major $300 handheld. The buttons are really good. The joysticks don't feel like they're going to drift that often. It has really good speakers. It doesn't have Bluetooth, but it has the 3mm audio jack on the back. It's USB-C. The screen looks really good. It makes me kind of frustrated that they took this really great design, great idea. It even has LEDs that light up on the side that you've probably seen, and they kind of just waste it on streaming. Now, again, I think there are very specific people that are going to enjoy this thing, that are going to get a lot of great use out of it. And that's people who don't live by themselves. I don't want to like roast anyone here or kind of be that person, but if you are a single person who is in like a studio apartment or even in a 1-bedroom apartment, this is kind of unnecessary. If you have roommates, if you live with your partner, if you have kids, that is where I think this device comes in handy, because you can now play your PlayStation 5 and not have to sit at your desk. Now, would you want to do that with the way that this device handles internet connections? Maybe not. Now, I will kind of sing its praises again, because I think that the connection on this device is actually stronger than if you use the Remote Play app or just use your phone for Remote Play with like a backbone. I think that it feels like it was a better connection in here most of the time. However, that's kind of where it also leads into a negative thing for this device, and it's a pretty game-changing negative. I know I've been praising this thing this entire time, but I really don't like the connection. What's the word I'm looking for here? I got it. This device is extremely inconsistent when it comes to having a good, strong connection. Again, my router is right across the room here. My PlayStation is right here off camera. This is the monitor that my PlayStation plays on. And I still have a lag when I'm sitting right here, and I have the second best version of Cox Internet that you can have. So I'm just kind of lost at how that's possible. Like, I will literally have a stream going on here, have my PlayStation downloading a game, and I'll be playing like Valorant or CSGO or something on my main monitor, and have no lag whatsoever. And I'm not trying to brag about my internet. I'm trying to give you a good idea of how weird this thing is, because while I'm sitting right here, I could be having like a really great time playing Spider-Man 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, and then all of a sudden, not even when I'm fighting a big horde of enemies or moving really fast or web swinging or horseback riding or anything like that, when I'm just standing still in a field or in the city, or I'm perched up in Spider-Man 2 on a big building, the game just suffers and it just struggles to run. The sound will cut, and it's kind of surprising, because you would think in these more intensive areas you would see problems, and you do. It's not like this device is perfect, but it's just odd to me. Like, I don't understand why it is so inconsistent, because I'll be sitting on my bed, I'll be sitting in the living room, it'll be fine for 10 minutes, and then for 2 minutes it'll be super, super bad, but then it'll be fine again. And I mean, it's not the end of the world. Again, for me, I'm going to get more use out of this device just so I can sit on the couch with my cat and my girlfriend and play my PlayStation and not have to be in this room all day. But at the same time, it's just kind of weird that that is even a possibility. And again, I understand if the stuttering only happened when I wasn't close to my router, if I was out of my room, I could actually see that. But the fact that it happens in here makes it feel like it's more on the device and Sony's end than anything else. I will say it is cool that I don't have to be at home to use this thing. If my PlayStation is on and I'm at a different location connected to internet, I can play on my PlayStation, and that's a lot of fun, and that's a really cool concept. But I would have preferred if it was just native running on this thing. And I know that this whole device wasn't made to replace the PlayStation 5, but I wish it was. I wish this was made as an alternative to the PlayStation 5 instead of an accessory. The last couple things I will say that kind of irked me about this thing is, if you have the PlayStation Plus premium subscription, you can actually just stream games straight from the PlayStation servers to your console without downloading anything. That app is still available to click on this thing, but you can't run it. And obviously they don't want you to run it, because they want you to buy games for your PlayStation instead of just having the premium subscription and play them through that streaming service. But I think what they should do is unlock the ability to use this, because then you don't necessarily have to open and turn your PlayStation 5 on for this thing to work. Or even then you don't have to download a game on your PlayStation 5, and that might actually help with a lot of the lag issues if you're streaming from the PlayStation servers straight to this thing. Because I think that premium, I forget what it's called, but that premium app that you unlock, that feature runs better than the normal stream play does. The other thing too is you can't use like Netflix or any of the entertainment portion of the PlayStation 5 through this device. You can only do games, which is understandable, but at the same time, I feel like it's already a streaming service. So not being able to use Netflix or YouTube or any of the internet search like browsers on this device is just odd to me. I don't get that idea. I don't know why they would block it. It's funny because to me, this device is very much catered to specific people, but then it's almost damaging to them at the same time. So overall, I think that this device is pretty okay. I think that it's not the end of the world if you decide not to get it, because you're really not missing too much. But if you're a parent or you live with someone else and you only have one TV and that's where the PlayStation 5 is, and you want to play your games without interrupting other people's use of the television, this is a really great option for you. Obviously, like I said, it's $100 more than the Backbone. So really, if you're balling on a budget, just get the Backbone. But for what you get with the screen and the speakers and the adaptive triggers, it's pretty okay. Again, I wish it was more at $150, because then I would feel a lot better recommending this device. But at $200, I just really can't. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sick of streaming. I'm sick of streaming games. I'm probably not going to use this device much more after this. And again, if I see comments that I'm a Sony fanboy, I'm going to hurl, because I quite literally spent my own money on this device, and I basically just did it for a video. So it's going to be a tax write-off if I make money off this video. Anyways, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. If not, cool. Let me know why in the comment section down below. This is my first kind of review, so I don't know how I'm doing. This is the third time I've filmed this too. So this has been kind of a struggle of a video to get out, but I'm going to edit it and I'm going to get this up because I haven't posted in a while. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Stay cool. See you guys later.